From a distance, Media City's Millennium Bridge looks idyllic, but up close, these bridges have become the site of a worrying trend: teens climbing to the top and dangling dangerously above the water. These metal fences were put up just days ago to deter climbers from climbing up the bridge, but local residents are saying that it's spoiling the view and very little is being done to address the root of the problem. I'm meeting with Councillor Jonathan Moore, who has been tackling the issue head on.
There was one particular video where the people on it were actually sliding down the curve just above where we are now at some speed.
Residents say they're not happy. Many have witnessed the dangerous climbs and reported them to authorities. One local resident said that falling could be very catastrophic.
Recently I've noticed a lot of these kids have been climbing the bridge. It's not safe, it's really dangerous, and honestly the parents should be looking after their kids better. I've noticed you guys have done a few things to take care of the issue, but it doesn't look great. People shouldn't be climbing around these bridges. I think it's quite clear that you shouldn't be climbing these.
There's also the risk of drowning, a danger that's heightened by the structure of the bridges themselves.
We've had issues of cold water shock every year on the quays. We've had at least one drowning every year for the last few years, where people have gone in not realising the risks of cold water shock and then they've died. And that's a serious risk here, it's particularly because there's also the height aspect as well, which we don't have where the other deaths have occurred.
Now, this Millennium Bridge did used to have anti-climb paint on it, just like the bridge down the road. However, the structure of this bridge meant that children have been sliding down it and risking falling off, and the anti-climb paint was making that a bigger issue. The fastest and easiest temporary fix to save lives was putting up these metal barriers here. Local councillor Jonathan Moore says he's working with the council to introduce safety measures.
The first is that where the metal hoardings are, we're planning to put glass screens in which match the glass screens that we're stood right next to now. So it will look as though it's all part of the same design. The measurements have already been taken for the manufacturing of that, so I'm expecting that should be relatively quick. Beyond that, CCTV is the other way which we're looking at dealing with this.
Temporary or not, the fencing is here to stay for now, while the council measure up the new glass panels. As the summer approaches, the focus is now on prevention as police presence increases in the community.